So, hey, I figured I'd just give a little update on the macroalgae setup. So, it's 6 gallons. It's a bookshelf tank. So, it's 30 inches long, about 8 inches tall, and approximately 6 inches wide. So, very long and narrow. Um, Fish tank police might say is like, oh, that's too small for clowns and cardinals, but I think with the length of the tank, it'll be all right for the long haul. The rock in the tank and the sand was purchased. It's a ocean direct sand, which is some of the better live sand that you can get. It comes with a lot more beneficial bacteria and microorganisms than most live sands. The Calerpa that you see and the remaining red Graciliaris, I think that's how you pronounce it, was purchased at an LFS. All the other macroalgae you see in here, which I can't identify all of it, was locally collected from the beaches here in Northwest Florida. There is a little bit of hair algae in here, but not enough to be an issue, I think. And given that this tank is so algae dominant anyway, a little bit of hair algae here and there doesn't bother me anyway. There are also lots of invertebrates in here, various shrimp and hermit crabs that were locally sourced. I also have some snails and chitons in here, which were locally sourced. All kinds of different copepods and things like that. Obviously, the clown and the cardinals were purchased at a local aquarium shop. They're not native to Florida. But yeah, I am super happy with the progress on this. So it doesn't use a standard reef light. It uses a now discontinued Finex Planted Plus. I can't remember the exact model off the top of my head, but I know it's one that's discontinued. So it is for freshwater plants. And since macroalgae behave similarly to plants, it would only make sense that a plant light would work. And a couple of times a week, I just dose the tank with some Chaeto Grow, which is a macroalgae nutrient blend. And also just make sure to feed the tank plenty. And there was some die-off initially with some of the macro, but I think for the most part, it's doing really well. Most of the inverts in here are doing really well. The fish are doing really well. And there are some things I'd like to change. I would like to get some soft corals in here, but soft corals don't do well in this tank. And I think it has to do with allelopathy from the macroalgae. I think they just outcompete the corals because this rock right here had some waving hand Anthelia on it, and it's shriveled to almost nothing. I had a multi-headed Duncan in here that died basically overnight out of nowhere. And I do have some Rasta polyps that are currently being smothered. So it's just not a good environment for coral, but it's great for macro, which I don't mind because it being macro dominant was kind of the goal from the beginning. I do let the back glass grow plenty of algae. There's various different kinds of algae on there. You can see the coralline algae starting to crust over it. The shrimp like to sit there and graze on it, and so do the hermit crabs. And yeah, it's just a very full and natural looking tank. Yeah, I'm really pleased with the progress on this. I think if people are trying to do that transition from fresh to saltwater, I think then a macroalgae setup is a really good place to start because it really has been very easy. There's very little maintenance I do in here aside from just topping off evaporation, doing a water change every couple of weeks, and adding a little Chato Grow like maybe twice a week. So yeah.